Hello all. The problem today we're going to solve is the trapping rainwater problem, and in late code it is under the hard category. And you can see there are 9,000 likes to this problem, which explains that this is a very nice problem and a very challenging problem. And so today we are going to analyze this problem and how to solve this and what is the algorithm to solve this problem. Let's understand it in a simpler manner. And yeah, before getting into the video, I have a small message to you. Yeah, as you can see on my screen, right, only 2% of people watching my videos are subscribed to the channel, which is very bad. So, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're liking the content that you're seeing on this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like if you have liked a particular video. Let's understand the problem statement first. So, the problem statement expects you to find what is the water that is being trapped based on the given elevation map. So what do they mean by elevation map? They give you an list of array. So each element in the array represents what is the elevation at that index. So consider this as a 3D model. So at index 1, according to this problem, there is a zero elevation, so there is nothing there. So in the same way, at let's say at 3, there are 3 blocks of elevations, and consider that the water is falling from the top direction, and you have to measure what is the amount of water that is being trapped between this elevation map, right? So the problem statement is easy to understand, but solving might be tricky. So let's understand it clearly with so uh, so first of all, in order to one thing, there are three things to remember here. So if you can nail these three things, then it is very easy to solve this problem. So what are the three things? At a given index, in our case, the index is 1. A given index, or at any given index, we can water can be trapped only between its highest and lowest elevations, right? Uh, it's a simple common sense, right? So in order to trap a water, then it has to be in the shape of some kind of a container, so that the water can be contained in that, right? In our case, the container can be formed by elevations in right and left direction, right? So we what we can understand is that the water will be stored only if there are highest elevations to its right and left, right? So, and the second point is that the water, the capacity that will be stored is only based on what is the minimum of those elevations, right? Consider you are standing in the middle of a road and there is a 100 meters of wall to your left, and there is a 80 meters road to your right, and you are under heavy rainfall, and the flood is, you are being in a flood. So the water that will be stored on your location is only 80 meters, because to your right the maximum elevation is 80, right? So it doesn't matter how big the elevation is on the left, but since the minimum elevation is 80, so the water that will be stored is not greater than 80, right? And there is also third thing is that what is your current elevation. From our example, this is 100 meters, and this is 80 meters. So if your present log elevation is 0, then you can simply assume that there are 80 units of water. But what if you are on 50 meters of elevation? Suppose if this is 50 meters of elevation, the water that is being stored is only 30 meters, right? So these are 3 points. The point number one is find the elevations to your left and right, because these elevations decide whether the water is being trapped or not. And the second point is what is the minimum elevations of those elevations, because no matter how big the one elevation is, the water is going to be stored only up to the minimum elevation, because after that it will just simply overflow to the right. And the third point is at what elevation are you actually located, because if you are located at some elevation, so the water is not going to be trapped to that level, so you are limiting the capacity of the water to be trapped. So if you can nail these 3 points, then this problem is a cakewalk. Trust me. And now that you understood these 3 points, let's implement this in the form of code, right? So what did we discuss? So from our first point, we have to find out the maximum elevations to its left and maximum elevations to its right. So let's create an array, right? Array makes sense, right? Because we already have an array. So if you can create another array which will store only the maximum elevations, then it will be simple for us and we can solve the problem in a single traverse, that is big of n. And big of n should do the trick for the most of the problems in competitive programming. And let's say left elevations, and I will even change this to a for simplification. And let's do some basics. N is equal to length of a, right? And let's create an array called as left elevation, and this is going to be, we'll initialize it with a null array. And we also have a right elevation, even will give the same thing. And one, there are few initializations here. So for the left thing, at 0th index, there is no point of going left, right? Because there is no index to the left. So at that position, the maximum it can is 0. The maximum elevation at starting index to the left is its present index itself. And same thing with the right, at towards the end, right? So at this point it can't go farther right. So at that position, the maximum right elevation is a of minus 1. So simple. So let's find out the left elevations at each point. So for that, we'll write a simple loop for I in range of 1 to n. So the loop is running from 1 to n because we have already defined what LE of 0 is, right? So make note of that. And so what is my elevation at this index? So my elevation at this index is equal to maximum. So since you are only considering of what is to the left, so what is left, maximum to the left at the previous index, that is I minus 1. So what is the maximum elevation to the point just beside me? And let's compare it with our present elevation. So if present elevation is higher, then we are going to change our maximum elevation, right? Simple. And let's do the same thing with to the left as well. For I in range, let's run a reverse loop here because we are trying to find from left, right? So the index will be n minus 1. No, it would be n minus 2 because in Python we are not going to consider that, right? And here we have already used up this index, which is n minus 1 index. So we have to consider the loop from this and minus 1 and minus 1. It's a simple reverse loop. And right in index of I is going to be max of I plus 1, I plus 1, and a of I. So what is the exact statement exactly means that? So consider this point. At this point, what is the maximum to its right? So I'm comparing what is the maximum elevation at this point with what is already present to the right and my present index, right? We are simply performing a max function. And at this point we have all the information. So if we go back here, we know what is the maximum left elevation, and by using that we can simply calculate what is the minimum of both. And we can also know what is the present elevation which is present in a, right? So step 1 is completed. Let's initialize an answer. Let's say answer is initialized with 0. Let's run a simple loop for I in range of n. And answer is going to be appended at each step with what is the minimum of. So this is our second point. What is the minimum of right elevation of I and left elevation of I? So what is the minimum of those both? Because as I said, the water is going to be stored only up to the level at which the minimum elevation is present. In our case, that is 80. So we have completed our second statement, we have completed our third statement. So the third statement says that also consider the present elevation that you are in. So we are going to subtract our present elevation because the water is not going to be present on our present elevation, right? So we are going to subtract our present elevation. And at this point, we have checked out our 3 points. 1, 2 is 3 is done. And at this point, we are ready. We are ready to generate our answer. Let's see if there are any base cases. Okay, one thing is considered is that the n can be equal to 0, but since we are running the loop, so it's better to take care of this base case. If not a, that is if a is empty, we are simply returning o. And now if I submit, then this should be the actual solution. Yes, it is. And to be, I'm quite surprised with 90% because Python generally will not be that fast, and we even used max. Anyhow, we were able to beat 90% of submissions from this problem, and I hope you clearly understood the algorithm. No, there are only 3 points to be considered. What is our left and right elevations at each point? What is the minimum elevations of those both? And what is the current elevation that you are in? And even one more optimization step for this problem is you can simply replace this max and min functions with simple if loop, because theoretically these max are costlier than if loop. So if you can replace that, then we can even beat 95% maybe. So yeah, and the memory uses is constant. We are using two. So our complexity, space complexity is big of 2n, that is big of n, and our time complexity is also big of 3n, that is big of n. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like this video. And if you did like the video, drop a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.